Man thinking, so shall it be. So our thinking and our way of we seeing stuff and doing stuff have an effect upon whatever will happen in our life. It's a little black magic, so we pursue you be there. Just the person thinking about you, you know, having a bad day or for you doing something happening to you, it's gonna start to work if the person understands what he's dealing with. Okay, it start to have an effect on you because the moment he start thinking, it's a vibrational frequency, and so if the vibrational frequency is about you, it start to connect with you because we are all already connected, and then when the thing start connecting into you, it start to have an effect straight up. Okay, so when you get to understand some of this stuff now, you know, so even on mom future teacher joining in that way, it's a low level magic because you don't actually need to go to take Ojai or something to do someone harm. It is much easier if you understand. You can just close your eyes and you know whatever you want to wish for the person will start. You can cast a spell. Cast a spell and yeah, cast a ordering the pakona o kasagun so say yeah. That one too have an effect. The same thing. Um, so the same way it is easier to harm somebody. The same way it is also easier to protect yourself. You see, in this world of you know, you see, some of this knowledge is kept, and it is easy to do it, and it is easy also to undo it. But most people don't get the concept. They don't really understand the whole stuff. And you say the CK can, what can so easy, I don't know, or no, you know, baby, you're free, no. He's been doing the whole stuff now. We could say like all this sort of stuff. So that is how we all think, you know, those thousands, you know. And I don't know, they summon a mucha adianama, a being the astro, in the lower astro. Because okay, so any pebia who and answer adia who releases some energetic energy into the atmosphere. That's the same idea. So, and then Abua Biano living in Biano, that energy is so there's a different level. It like exploding into the ethers. Okay, into the mokas and then mujane, nipa mujayepe, and your mujane na yepe is the energy now the exact no during the time of death. No? Okay. Ɛyɛ akɔyɛ ne nipa de ayɛ pɛ if saa na ɔmo ka no yɛ nokorɛ de a ɛyɛ akɔyɛ ne nipa de ayɛ pɛ that is why ɔmo ka sɛ ne mogya yɛ pɛ ɛnyɛ mogya na egu mu no bi yɛ na ɛna yɛka ho asɛm okay nti sɛ woyɛ sacrifices na those beings you know absorb those energies sometimes they even you know capture the soul to use it for whatever they want to do so there are levels to that thing okay and then that being will come in and do whatever he's assigned to do. Now, in order for him or her to do it, that person needs to penetrate your auric field. Okay, as simple as it is, before he will get to you. Okay, so so then American, when you understand the mechanisms of how this stuff works, you know how human, you know, especially more, they are not in the metaphysical and they are not in the mystic arts, you know. They don't really understand it, you know. But when you understand it, it's really really easy for you to implement it on somebody. In the same way, it is very very easy for you to protect yourself. You see, so everything is actually a perception. How you view it to be, it have an effect on you. Okay, so when I say perception, when I say how easy it is more easy to protect yourself, it's just by the thinking. It's just by just visualizing or imagine a white light is around you, and that is your oracle. You know that is gonna happen. Okay, and that is boom. It start happening. It's so simple. It start happening in in the actual field. Okay, and the same way, if you're not protecting yourself, it is easy for someone to manipulate, which much um a person can summon you. I just at the time I'm coming, you're not sure how what will be crying or not for bad reason, but for good reasons. Okay, for what do you call it? For healing purposes and for mostly for healing purposes. I think most of the um healing group they use it a lot. Okay, so when you get this techniques now, you can heal everybody, you can help everybody, and basically do anything to everybody. But most of the time, depending on the person, no, people are trying because of or highly advanced, so the consciousness will not actually come out. Okay? Yeah. So for the protection, you don't really need any special stuff there to protect. Even the thinking ability, even your perception, everything is your perception. When you have the and I think that no another man when this thing happens, you don't have to go and fight somebody. Oh, and when you're in the wings, Oh, there's no. You shouldn't go and challenge somebody about when you're in the wings. No, you just that is not the best you're doing. But you need to just be in a neutral state. This knowledge we combine it with wisdom and the understanding. Okay. Yeah. So when you learn about the soul travel stuff, there's what we call the mystic arts. Okay. There's so much within the um field that knowledge. I think I can get in there. Yeah, now it's not something important. And let me say this: we are not just training you to be able to project your consciousness out of the body. That is not the goal. We are training you. The best description is more like a psychics, okay, where you have the whole pack. You have healing pack. You have remote viewing pack. You have so many stuff, okay, in one pack. So the fundamentals in the moment. I think so. I think so. I think so. They will be kind of one half for 3 weeks. The ever don't go intermediate. Okay, no, no, no. Take your time. Okay, kakakaka. Yeah. So the practice in the mammoth, just do it, and you see how fast you're gonna get into this or spiritual arena stuff. How you're gonna get into the top of the game. Okay. Okay. Another one.
Okay, ita. Yeah, that's it, principal. Yeah, that's it. Maybe, I'm say, yenya kamuna ita bem. You know what the above from Kranti. Bacho, I'm say I am Oma on Sasso. Me ma yenya Dominic. This say Akasa, we are Mama Akasa. I am. Timbacho Sama on Sasso be my Dominic me batch.
Mede anuanom ase anwummerɛ sɛ ɛno nso yɛahyia mu a yɛrebɛsua adeɛ. Na me question no yɛ sɛ mepɛ sɛ mete aseɛ from adesua mu no mahu sɛ akra ne bebree efiri baabi ɛna yɛreba hanom. Na mepɛ sɛ mehu sɛ yɛyɛ soul no a according to your teaching mu no ɛkyerɛ yɛ sɛ yɛnim biribiara no from creation no outside no wonim biribiara. Na ɛdeɛn na ɛma yɛba ɛma yɛfiri the other dimension no a yɛba a yɛa na yɛayɛ biribi nti na ɛma yɛba ha. Na ɛba no a yɛba ha no tumi bi wɔ hanom a is it biribi ɛka ho a ɛma wobɛyɛ more powerful than the other ones no anaa nti na ɛma yɛba ha no anaa?
Okay. So okay, that is a very good question. So why with endless glory. You see, I think the same thing goes to the Christianity. Because I don't know, I'm going to go heaven on as I did, but I did remember. Yeah. So, also we have two poles in creation. We have the positive pole, um, and we have the negative pole. Um, but let me go it very simple. So it's more like there are souls who are actually being born. Okay, let me get into this. There are beings who can actually create souls. Okay, um, there are beings who can actually create souls, and some of us are actually created souls from other higher beings. Maybe some of the aliens and all this sort of stuff. Some of us are also a fragment of other souls. Okay, and some of us are new souls. Now the new souls is more like new, fresh created souls or new souls who does not actually know anything. Okay, they are just a fresh newborn babies, and in order for them to recognize or to know themselves, they need to come into this sort of whole bunch of creation stuff. And most of the time, um, we all been taught to attain higher vibrational frequency, oh, higher light beings and all this sort of stuff. But we have two poles of creation. We have the red pole, and then we have you know, the light, right? Where both the lights and the negative, the light pole and the right pole, both of them need to be experienced. So the purpose of life is beingness, and then the whole thing is never ending experience. I think so the other time, let me cut for the intermediate. The whole thing is about never ending experience. Okay. Because most of the ascended masters and those of the higher beings, they tend to go into the whole higher place of existence, but most of the time they tend to come back. Okay. Because there is other level they didn't get to, which is actually the negativity of the whole pole. Okay. Yeah, for the question of what you were saying, yeah, basically the differentiation is some of them are just new, so new, so they need to come and an experience. Okay, now we kind of say a new soul, so it doesn't mean that they've been created. So them cars, there are those who are actually being created in creation. Like for me, many will say we can actually learn how to create souls, but there will not be much more authentic than the one which is coming from the source. Okay. And as since we have the essence of the source within us, and so we have the creative ability or the creative faculty to literally create everything that the source can create. And we can actually also create souls. We can actually create galaxies, universes, and planets. Now there are souls who have been in the beginning of time. There's no even beginning of time because time does not begin, it's just out there. That they've been actually in that um they've actually been in that light and the ocean of love and mercy, or the ocean of love. There's that very big bang where souls has actually been out there, where they need to come down and experience this reality. And I think I almost say Elon Musk has only. I say, they ask him, is this actually a simulation? No, saying, yes, the possibility is a simulation. No, I think the Musa answer, what is outside of simulation? No, Okachom said, no. People create simulation to escape the raw life, the life they actually already live in. You see? So most of the time, the life out there, there's not much out there. You just, with the totality of consciousness, you're just everything at the same time. There's nothing, there's no adventure. You are just there in this everlasting peace and love and all that sort of stuff. But most of the time, souls want to also experience different sort of experience. Come into this creation and do a whole lot of stuff and go into millions of incarnations and all this stuff. Okay, yeah. So that is how mostly it works. but they are actually souls who are not actually stepped down into creation before, and then they are always being on the light side. So most of the purpose of we being here is to come into the negative pole to experience plurality, and that is also part of the growth of soul. Okay, yeah. So Dominic, I hope so. What did American say? Can I come some different
Sɛ
topic?
ɛm sɛ na me because of new tools no koraa na na ɛyɛ ade a na mefiri hyɛ mu hɔ because ebi mu wɔ hɔ nom a yɛde ɛkyɛ gya yɛabɛka a na ɔmo a ɔmo
Yeah,
tutu afoforɔ no
they are getting created. So that has actually been always been there because where we come from, there's no time. But the whole thing is, so we fit down, and a tuntum is also part of the source. Tuntum Nikita is also part of the source. So in order for some of us to experience and embody and to become the fully version of ourselves, we need to also come to the negative pole, or we need to come from this negative, or let me say, the darkness, so that through the darkness and all the living through the darkness, we become self-realized. So all of them is also part of the self-realization. But where the source is, this is just absolute love stuff. You are just there. But this is just a simulation. Because a simulation, it's just something we've created for you to come and go through so that you learn something from it. Okay. Yeah. So they have been
Mm,
there, and there are actual folks who has actually been creating. I think say ancient Egyptian economy to be able, right, where they can actually create souls. I'm a common energies boom, and then they have more high magic stuff up there where they can create new actual souls. Okay.
ɛna ɔmo fɛ no amentis o amentis
More of a mention, it's more like a library.
okay ɛnɛ sɛ ade yɛ kɔ so na sɛ nyɛ ade bi gya da
No, 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 no. Creation is never gonna end. The experience is never gonna end. It's a war now also opposition who you
bɔ anyɛ
understand?
battery
Yeah, yeah. You need to position yourself well within the post of creation. That is all what it takes. Um, because it has been there for forever since we've been here. And yeah, there are universes that dies, there are universes that are born. So we are living in the multiverse. Above the multiverse, we have megaverse, we have you know omniverse, we have verse. It's so big and so powerful that we don't actually have the capacity.
nyabotire na kwan ade no ɔmo
Our mind cannot actually grasp the vastness of this existence. We cannot actually grasp it, how it actually works. Okay, so most of the time you're thinking in one dimensional based on your name on this physical, you know, and the idea of spiritual whatever, spiritual laws and whatever we are thinking of. We think it is, it is not in the whole entire multiverse. Somewhere in planet we need some couple of planets be, and then in fact, in this only universe. What we know of life, we know of even spirituality, whatever we think we know, doesn't exist in another universe. It is a whole ball game together. Well, Monte and Kakro, the one the Ekike obviously constant zero. Some of them universe are even liquid though. So how are they gonna express yin and yang or good and bad and all this kind of stuff? So the vastness and the possibility is infinite. You see, and when you come here and we are teaching you this and that, we want you to remove your into the fun if your friend expanded state of expanded so we trim. I say I we are just the planet and all this stuff come here. But see be able now what who the possibilities, the infinite possibilities then your thinking no, your perception no start to be in a different level of the game. You understand? So then yeah there. Then you when you think from the higher point of view, it actually doesn't even matter anyway. Most of the stuff we go through lives, our life situations, and the who the common general now whatever na who human it doesn't even matter. Now they like the reptilians now, whatever it is. They are threats. Okay. Also, the threat now. In the Indian say, it is about the reptilians and the greys and other aliens. Those threats, they are threats that are beyond, or they are threats that is actually on the universal level. So that threat, which is on the universal level, no, that threat is happening, okay, or it is affecting the whole entire multiverse. So, I say, no, and I say, this universe, and within this whole universe, one planet, the effect is the Earth. That is some ideology being about the universe, thinking that is how it works. Then, sorry, you don't actually get it anyway. So there's some stuff going on in the higher planes. And maybe and coffee, it doesn't actually matter. You see, so we need to expand our also we're beginners, so we try to they try to mesmerize and I'm getting more confused. Yes, our people will not understand. I mean some of us are still in the local traditional stuff, right? And then and then sorry, Bible, la, and then I was all banner Ghana high, the NCC can say that diet, so the higher state, bro, what does Beam have to do with it? It doesn't even count anyway, right? So let us pay attention in the higher states. Yeah, Dominic. Also, you guys okay?
Yeah, but now person me okay. Nti bi mo no ma o ma ba react o ma anya o mo hu sa knowledge na just o mo soul no be lose soul no to different energy. I bit in there before.
Oh yeah, I know they sir. It's and
Okay.
they're cost.
But
And they do want
that's just
people are here who are going to be doing it. Ọmọ m ne entities ne ahonhom ọmụ di nkọmọ no ahonhom no wọ ama ne tumi bi ne ama ne kawa bi ahyɛ bi na wɔ free mercy or some all court bi I agree with them like what is this guy doing? They don't even understand. Obo kom so no wani ni so panyin wɔ ne car wɔ ne fie no wɔ kawa bi na sika bi no no akɔhyɛ boso bi ase bi. What do you think you are doing? It is a contract. Now this contract, this people almost when they sign a contract with you, it's actually the contract is actually going to happen or have more effect during the afterlife. So Uber who will be Ubewu, and then there are beings who are actually waiting for them to claim the soul. Because when the person was actually leaving, the person was having a contract with them. I think some make that example. They see what is in the Bible or Mokaza. Obi wuyo sɛ mena Satan ne Nyankopɔn ɛtwe funu no ho sɛ ne funu no ho. Well, that is it. It happens. I think it doesn't actually be or gym, no only entities near home. These people that don't do things for free. We will be more travels, and then you know about these beings now. You know these beings, they're tricks. Some more are there about who is almost 2,000. And most of them, they let people sign their souls or sign contracts where they amount ase also no nipa no so nim say onya fufuo ni banche ni onya ka bi di ni ono njira after like bi ahun so nim yo fufuo na ekọ no de ntia ko hihye bi ase bi nim say bi a ho na more powerful or something, all this ideology, and then they get themselves entangled with this stuff, and for a couple of minutes or a couple of time, mostly when they transition, things start to become more ugly for them. You see? So yeah, so for the battery need and you're more crown and mention who come with so sometimes it's very horrible. Yeah, anyway. Dominic.
Matthias, yeah.
Okay, Ita, yeah, that's it. I am. If I just amount that to be why. This is the creators. I am Mount Sasso. You saw Mount Sasso was I dropping. Near Mount Casa. I am. Yes, I be any creators. Creators in Bajo Casa.
I think the most of baby.
It's in Bajo say.
Good evening.
I'm so much dropping. I'm so much dropping. Yeah, creators, it's you.
But I'm just so be on here.
ɛho yɛ paa.
But I'm question here, maybe a teacher and I penny eater, Eddie baby about Susa, any beans our contract. No, and I work Christian background. No, Pidiano, my castle, over for Christus who ran or crash and qua. Meaning, say, me person, say, no, so no nice, and it's be no so in your contract, and as any in your contract. I say I be who no cry, no, quite many ever so a break it our contract.
Okay, that is quite interesting. Now, once we have some of this, we have some everything is about contract. There's no most of them are partnership. Most of them, I think 80% is about contract. That is why we have ADBFS a sole contract, right? Almost is no contract. ADBL science and all, but no, that is no. It can be, but that is basically what we call sole contract. When you go contract with other beings, it becomes your sole contract. So some even work contractor. Meeting me one bahaba be maybe because I own you. And then the highest currency in this galactic black market is actual souls. Okay, people own souls and they sell souls to other places, other dimensions, other realms. And then the person meets my meets me so your henna and into what this and idea. Obetumi ama nipa kɔ no ayɛ nkaneti ama nipa kɔ no abɛyɛ n'akoa ana ɔba nipa kɔ no ba abɛyɛ ne yere nipa kɔ no ba abɛyɛ ne what the company say mba ɔmo edi bi ɔmo de frɛ no so mate that idea no ngu na nim say open whatever you know they can bind you they can do all this because no more contract nti don't person me on ɔmo etumi program me to come and do o sɛ no contract bi ano anko no ebu nso forever and ever contract you see. Uh-huh. So with the Jesus idea, no there, that the figure Jesus was just energy harvesting. Okay. So there was no actual contract of or more like a demonic stuff in there. So if you're a ultimate who feel all there, you are good to go. Okay. There's nothing more to be done, and so being a contract or something to actually happen to you. So you're actually good to go. Okay. Because it doesn't involve, and then the end is just a machine. You know, you get into the Christian idea, they infuse. Normally, I did infuse the one fuse with the concept of heaven and hell. Any born, any papa. According to the, you know, your bonnet, I don't come and say, your papa, I don't heaven. Nobody is going to me, your bonnet, announcing your papa. It doesn't happen. I must ask a children, why didn't you know, oh, hey, who's a big crowd, down again, who you're for cry, no. That's what the Gamba Jamal will come. And then I tell you to two any now. On the whole, we have on fire there, we are good to go. But it is really impossible for you to be in that state because we as humans, okay, two polarities in the boy, which is good and evil, okay, or the yin and yang is within us. So we are going to experience it throughout our day. We cannot even get back home, any back home. So they understand this, but Omani wants to tell them say your papa and I'll beat him like oh whatever heaven it is. And then we'll go into the Hindus as well. More the concept of karma idea where you do and your papa or your bunny, you know, you'll be back and as I be more other religions or more all this sort of stuff. It's more like a reincarnation trap. Something to trap you somewhere. Because when you look at the definition, it doesn't actually even make sense. Because most of the definition you cannot choose. It's more like adeɛ they are born. You must say jabakoto the issue bako. Well, it cannot happen because it both of that polarity, masculine, feminine, good, evil, that yin and yang, that is who you actually are as a soul. So you cannot leave one in, you know, about one. It doesn't happen. So I'm on the show because they know you cannot do it, but they've given people fantasies, illusions that oh you can do it and you never go heaven. Above all, I don't know. There was so when it's never gonna happen. You see. So For the Jesus way in India, it was just energy harvesting and then reincarnation trap. But if you're able to liberate yourself from it now, you are good to go. Okay. And most of the time, no contract they depend on being crow. One low level being here and contract and the NA was so bad. Ukunya high level beings in the contract or mana ukunya contract and like Baphomet money, Azazo money, Lucifer money, Christy Sophia money. Sanko for the I was so bad. Bambo nyomo mean or more kwala ne didi a na most of the time it is easy for you because most of the time you can be a bit mad though. But that's what the mechanism. I hope you understand.
Mante ase pa na mejiri se maybe edu baby abachire how to break those contracts no. Na etimi aboa bebre. And I would my last question, Mr. Rawa. And last time now kasa about our left brain say Oma shouting it down. Mr. Rawa mom education about the left brain kaka.
Yeah, well, I'm shutting it down. Okay, so the left brain is the analytical mind. The other brain, the ODD, so they calculate the other. And then the right brain,
Okay.
and when I say what me utilizing the year, what me activate, everything about more mystical, which my barber and more experiences. Okay, because your right brain, is your creativity and where all the psychic ability, all the psychic power now, ability to be more explore different dimensions. It also has to do with your right brain, and your right brain is also tied into your subconscious mind. Okay, so the reason why I'm kind of man or you're very very spiritual, whatever. The whole explanation is that most of them, women are more on the right brain. They are not really analytical. They are not in the left brain as men. I said them I don't know. Yeah, they don't cry no sound so. Can't you know. So most of the state of women, they are on their right brain, like children, right? Children is also on their right brain. And okay, so now they are just doing it. They are not having any preconceived notion be or they don't only judgments be. They don't have expectation. They don't really think about it. They just do it, and that is um the secret of the whole psychic stuff is to surrender. As the day is to surrender to the whole process. Don't think of it. Don't say it is not working. Just do. Just record your experience and know you are getting somewhere. Okay. So that is what the right brain and the left brain do. So almost at is that ability in down when they almost say yemfa bunkum and entre. So yemfa ni fan entre. Right. It's ya into na omo ya abunkumano. Omo ya abunkumano me creative. Okay. I'm very from artistic and whatever. Omo ya uhum bi oye bunkuma oya ade air or you're very creative. You see, or we are very, very intuitive. Okay, and then they saw this potentiality, so they will have to destroy it because so, mommy, so yeah, bunkumana, who you should left now, you activate the right. Okay, and so you see the right, and then so you activate the left. You see, instead of some government society, left brain for no, I am more no, and I'm canceling it down from the current brain. So no memo goes to say we're for so for your friends. I'm for the photocopy. I'm for the copy. I'm the books be man. A sentence we go now. Try to go as here. Yeah, for so since any American for some for right? And then the person will lose that ability, that connection. So that is the right brain and the left brain. It's basically um um in other words, waiting that change what we call the conscious and the subconscious mind. But I think that as a beginner, I think that the latest lesson that is what's the main mechanic. Please.
Okay, bro. Mante ase pa body ni shira. Me okay
Okay.
for now.
Yeah, that's the let us. Bacho, Benedict Free Adumako. Bacho Betimi Akasa. Benedict and Bacho Betimi Akasa.
Another and family
Benjamin, I mean about Benjamin Yaba. But you wait me I found sabo are you blue na microphone so na kasa. Benedicta. I'm say Benedicta on you ready. Oh, okay, get you.
Think, hello.
Yeah, you're on gun.
Okay. Patrick Michio Bibia. Maybe I may join you. Me, my follow teachings in an year. My record, the pre record in Amudia too, and in my starting practices. No, so Timikuso. Patrick, the question is say, based on the answer now, Mudima, Papa say about the left and the right brain hand. No? So in that case, no, do we have to maybe switch it and now say, do we have to use both the left and right to balance it and
Yeah. So and then I practice in the mobile, okay. It's practice in the
oh,
boy cast one now the mind is wandering. How are very analytical. And then
okay.
most of the time, am I brave with the experiences? But if I can own at the corner crown, I was saying, onya the corner cross analyze it. At the margin, and I say, margin. These are all the conscious mind, which is also the logical mind, or the intellect. So let me explain this in this way, so now over here saying another way around. So the right brain is more like connected to our subconscious mind, and the left brain is connected to our conscious mind. Because the left brain deal with reasoning, analyzing, doing stuff, and then you're using it on a daily basis, which is, our left brain, which is what it has to do with also our conscious mind. Now the subconscious mind, which is also the right brain, okay, and then we don't actually use it. And in order for you to have any mystical experiences, you need to bring the subconscious mind up, okay, to actually come and merge with the conscious mind, or even come up and let the conscious mind silence itself. So, and again, I'm explaining the conscious mind is what we have the analytical, skeptics, reasoning, no analyzing, okay. It is maybe a kind of practices now. You say, okay, close your eyes, visualize this, doing this now. All connecting, now the left brain, and I'm going to me shutting the left brain down. Then the left brain will be kicking in. I do it one, I do it anyone now. I do it the same sign too. I do it right. Then it will be actually be affecting the experience you are supposed to get. Because in order for you to get the experience, you need to silence the conscious mind down so that the subconscious mind will come up. The same way dreams occur. And even as old Dahonas are old dreams, over chance why do not to be old dreams, you are consciously doing something, which is the left brain start doing something. And I know how bones are yes, the old and I know I dream, I say, at work, baby, no one dream, pictures be and as we're doing, be or the boss and I basically one dream within a second, most of one dream also. Most of one side, once I go back to what you were thinking about. Okay, so now what was happening is that very moment, your conscious mind started to drop down and your subconscious mind started to come up, or where your right brain started to come up, things started to flow. Okay, so in order for you to get any mystical experience, you need to shut down the left brain. Other than that, every experience you are going to analyze it. Every experience there's going to be, you'll be thinking of it. That is the only trick that women have as an upper hand. Even in the intermediate, in the woman, a man or woman does experience more than a man. Because on the woman, the left brain is much connected to them. So the almost as when we announce, oh yeah, every little experience we obey, she's actually enjoying it and letting it flow. But the man on, oh yeah, and I'm saying, man, we use the right brain more. Okay, that is the whole thing. Go back to a man for women are emotional and men are logical. That is the reason why I'm kind of okay, because Bema no be ko edwuma or calculate abusia or Genesis be a Juma we by so they delve deep in the left brain more. It was as so I practice now, and I'm so I that thinking analysis and that channel in the daily life, you know. He start to do the same thing with the practices. It was as so and I know say again, you know, as the same manner as our or use the left brain in his life. I didn't imagine it. I do easy and easy. I do with the as a mihuni. I do the mihuni, I know correct. Right? But as for the woman, it's kind of, you know, they just let it flow and they just make it happen. They said, yeah, why, yeah, workers are acquiring some of the exercise now. They'll just start to make it happen, right? Yeah, so that is why we have to, yeah, it's basically so the left brain and the right brain is basically what we call the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Yeah, but I think I'm about to what else?
Mpacho Matias, you, Pacho, another question. Where Miss Reo?
Oh, yeah,
Uh, me, Pacho, before I was in like meditation mood, no, and I used to have a lot of experiences. And some of the experience, no, sometimes say, yeah, it's me changing, not the whole one, no. I said me experience you. But right now, no, I say stage now me what right now, no, the experience is not I used to have nina no. Nina kati. I say my years me stuck be no sabi no. I don't know if I know another stage and I say
Oh yeah,
there is any.
there's something about the projection, right? Sometimes I don't know if it is a projection or it is a dream state. I don't know which kind of experiences or something that has to do with your physical body or your physical environment. Which sort of experience? Which might seem kakama me or not?
Okay, as for example, during maybe meditation or silence na meet me like hear some voice and ebi wɔ hɔ a ɔmo tumi ka say like body bibi kyerɛ me. After that, meet me Google last experience it was like some type of a tea medication of tea medication before bisabi no. The name no is sounding in my ears and I'm me Google yeah. And when I Google it, no, I say me will be ana or go through some depression and or problem or go through problems bimo. And when the voice came, no, me Google adiana me share, you know, a drone a yima, I say a draw bino, na yima me no. Me ready go through and who say like for that nipa like for the nipa no say na ma adwen ye me say maybe nipa ni use so a ebetimi aye nipa the thing was like a tea form a tea bag bisa bi no but a drew anytime me tea voice na me tro we na ma google nso so a adukro na eba me voice na kasa tre me no adukro na me google mame specific adie bi me hu say
Okay.
na me no emu da ho a
I shall say guy in prison. Okay. Rita,
yeah.
but I'm saying I shall say a guy in a chair.
Oh, and chair be even 3 days ago nsusu me sanya different form like now I was meditating a voice no me some figure of number bi enu de na menti ase by me try but na menti ase.
Okay. So when it comes, do you have you tried consciously to ask what that voice is? Who that voice? Who is behind that voice? Or you just believe it?
Yeah. Mama, yes, several times, but then no me nya any answer bia.
Okay. So do you want to know the person, or you just want to enjoy the fruitness of what that person is saying to you?
I don't mind. I want to know. And I also me what this me
You don't mind
right
us. You don't mind us.
no mpacho I me see me pese me hu.
Who what, please? Who na na say who the okay catch on that is it.
No pese me hu nipa kuno a enemy kasano. Sana metre.
Okay. Continue.
And then no me left right here no so no me see some this on say Ghana dear sa uti sa no say mo bi omo dede no. That one there continuously, and it's been like a year now continuously.
Oh, clear audience. Okay. So, tell me, Paco, me kasa go assume, and then no one to know about okay.
Okay.
When the inner ears start to open, most people say most of practices maybe now. Obo say wasum me change, and nobody not tuning in. I to say radio station. Oh, and our
Yeah.
first TV station. I wasn't right because channel we want your channel will be it's basically the inner ear is been open. Now when your channel be to me and tune into that channel. That is it's the same scenario in America. I said the whole radio station. Now when your channel, Papa na channel be I don't know just because when your channel be on to. So it's the
Okay.
same happening to you or most of us when it start happening. The inner ears start to open, but we don't have the ability to tune into other places to listen to information and all this sort of stuff. Like you try how to use it, and most of mono, I think it's just a on my lesson like in the year, or when you put all your attention to it now, it will start to increase, and then you can fuse that with your intention about what you want to listen or you want to hear. But anyway, but some more hot that that way, how tune so that they can have, you know, hear stuff from different places or different realms. Yeah, I think that there are a couple of people they've been able to do that. Okay, more clear audience.
Okay.
But what I would say is be careful, and then if I can't know who it is, try to know the person first. Okay. Um,
Okay.
yeah, especially Oman BBR, be careful. Don't actually, maybe it might help you for one or two, but please be careful. Hunipa Kranza, ask questions,
Okay.
have an intention to meet that person who that being is. Because omitting that hold your because you are agreeing to whatever he or she is giving to you. So then there is an agreement that or the idea about oh yeah, you know. So then you agreed to work with him. This is how silly some of them do their own contracts. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not saying trouble, but I say yeah, most of the time, as we be so on that we be in the say, America can now home so and the person never have the courage to ask who that being is, who you know he's dealing with, because astral plane, honor, you trust will be out. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Pure will be happen. We don't trust people. So when you start having this sort of experiences now, first you have um, you know, understanding about the person now in the deal, so that you know you are in the safer place rather than say the back a bit more of them. Some of a bit may happen, a bit in their mouse, and then a very good baby not owners who demand something, or and then not a contracts, right? So try
Okay.
to do that. Another book.
Okay. Okay. Mpacha mati me dasi.
The speaker.
Okay, yeah, that's between
I
uh
don't know about the speaker or Obano. I don't know. I said, why do
oh
remember?
the can kasa earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Me pacho many adjumani you've been allowed. We are Isaac aba. Why? Many pacho kasa. If I chop answer me you blue no so but the microphone no down over where you
Pacho Motimeka.
at home can.
Yeah, me chacho bibia. my question now is taking us back to the contracts now. So what if say maybe Papa B and I say Una be had a contract with these like beings, maybe or a top level being like Zazel. Now on any contract, into contract, it could be say ABI or the Nasifo as a contract na say. It is said nipa de free honoma and so we no mu claim so na. How do you as a descendant of such a person know say like at some point like you haven't maybe you meditating, you having interaction with a being, how would you know say you're not being contacted through that contract, not by that same being? That's the
Oh,
first question.
that's a very good question. That is when things become so serious. Um, because some of the contracts it goes for the generation,
Mhm.
and that is where things become very, very no. A bit annoying. The same thing is happening in that traditional stuff.
Yep.
And you be improved. Okay. What they've been saying, no, what you've been hearing from them, no, it means the contract normally being no coin was generational. So whether you like it or yes, you need to come and do the sacrifices and do whatever you need to do for the being before the being can liberate you. And then we've been preaching the public. We should go back to the roots to do those things that, and it is fine because they've managed to make it the normal, managed to make it the culture. Well, I don't know why some of them have not been able to see this, but it seems, it is normal in a way. But in actual sense, there is a contract in the generational stuff. Where I think in the back to the roots, they should help to liberate the people from that contract. You see, but they are even enforcing people to go back and be on the same track.
Uh-huh.
So you see, you don't talk it much. Yes, right? Right. So even going to back to the root idea, there is a problem. You understand? So and then I make so most of the time anyway I know your style,
Mm.
but when you start to know your the self, um, most of this stuff you can actually cancel it based on your understanding and based on your knowledge you have. You can actually deal with them. Also,
Mhm.
so ah, and for you to do that, you need a certain level of knowledge. And say, we don't really understand how darkness this universe. We always preach about the light, love
Yep.
and light, peace and bro. The darkness and the light is the same. Most of the time, the darkness spark fear. So most of the time, we don't want to speak about some of the negative stuff so that we bring people into the neutral vibration so that we can understand this sort of stuff. Then cover fear. And but that's why we start to deal with fear. No, intermediate anyway now. Then the bit says yeah, bubble bunny, who said, send the air cannon. One position who knows we so no do to young choir
Yeah.
or the that judgment idea was also part of the game. It's also part was also part of the programming, making young things say will be general. Oh, no, John, no, I found who dinner. Omu di man is can na omu ko yes you know what I tell you for seven. And I didn't say there was a sesika o ka say some go heaven mo ko na nipa na on no na na ma go ho bo ame. I'm going to do baby mo ko heaven no. Nipa na na mo hu ni say oye prostitute or something mo ko heaven na omo ne ne wo ho. Now, I don't know. You know, if you I say the quotation, no more guys say, we go even any back on or yeah, bunny, no, yes, I'm going on and on, or have you, or I make you think. Yeah, so this thing start to become very, very serious. So,
Oh,
and until I kind of say, we should just learn how to position ourselves well. Okay, you learn about this stuff, If Oshana say also now say there's a problem, you can summon don't bees. Okay, you can say summon you know, then I got summon demo, hey, you know,
Mhm.
you also classify all these things to be demonic stuff, and also we have some special ability be home be, you know, before you can do this stuff. But we forget that we are the most powerful thing that actually exists. It is just consciousness. So we don't need something much than, because there cannot be something much than us that we will need for us to be able to do stuff. When we tune into ourselves, that is all that there is. That is the overall, you know, the powerful thing that actually exists. So when we actually tune in into it, we are good to go. We can do all this. We can send mental message to those beings where they are. Thought travel more faster than light. The moment you have the
Mhm.
intention, also you have no more contract. Contract elementials you. It is I'm gonna can
So no review contract now.
now the one fan is what I mean. And when you're good beings, I'm very responding. When you're good being you know, you try to everything I'm very responding. And all respondents want to be no shame. That idea no be actually team will be cool. These are all programming we are getting from young childhood. So we've been programmed to fear all this sort of stuff and to be afraid of this sort of stuff. And it's a whole casa in my name will grow. Who's all back on that? I won't home name boss, right? But you've not been when you're arrogant. You don't understand the trick. Bros, we okay. Men are not Obama, okay, fine. Okay. So boss we. And then I'm also upon Jenny or church room. Just for them to come in to explain better of the contract. Because maybe the contract is good. Because the be mommy DVD, I think Zenke, yeah. Oh. Ebi a mema wakoko na bi abema me $100 bi and also bema me $1 million. It is a fair trade. And let me understand that there is no any man kitikiti me share shall see bi and as overlays. Once I move to contract, come to you overlay. And there's
Mhm.
no overlay. I'm a meme and it's fine. And I think that is in a way, you know, that the tradition and I go in hand with them. But I am not the conjuration, no, not conjuration. The communication between the beings and the panel all yeah, then I'm no. There's no communication. Most of them will do stuff. To cancel, so nothing even happened. And no matter what happened, cry and no man can get you know, may mom. But when your mom taking this is very much.
Much.
Maybe I don't have a problem with it, right? But at least must try to have a communication. Yeah, the NTS me power fine, me power fine. There will be a new update. Let's do the update. But it seems we don't have a say. Since our grandfathers and our you know, my Indian, boss, we don't have a say. You need to do it by hook or crook. No, I think that one is more like an infringement of rights.
Mhm.
We don't have to. No, there have to be a communication. But in order for you to get to this level of understanding, that you can actually have these conscious communications and all this sort of these things, you need to understand how this universe works. You need to understand the principles, okay, and how this dimensional planes and this you're the concept, the knowledge of the universe, the divine knowledge of the universe. You need to learn how it works because knowledge is power, and it's actually knowledge is power. The more you understand this stuff, the more powerful you become. Because then when you start to know who you are, you start to get your power back. And so you know whenever you speak, it starts to have an effect. But unim dia okasa me mu ha. But unim dia okacha mo ne mu odu. Ka say me abeka bia unim say it can have an effect on somebody. But unim dia unim okasa gukwa. You see? So when you get this divine knowledge now, then we can start to work on that very aspect of ourselves, you know. How we've been entangled with those beings, you know. And I know idea who say or no and I say Ubu Dabby boss who's already in to Quasimo. Or no more contract, now say you review contract in here. So I don't teach your baby cool because of what questions a boss. Let them say, no, what a problem. That you never some that can who's a contract in the same at here. Say maybe I'm a meeting a year one free, and I'm meeting a year. When I'm meeting a year, and then I think there is a very good, you know, communication you would like to ask. But some of us we don't even ask it. They don't even show up. And one year is a problem. So, so yeah, when you get this sort of stuff, you can start to work on yourself in that aspect. Okay, bro.
Okay.
We encourage.
Okay.
Okay, it's that kakra bi am de beto nse minua on say eto that so a dem be kan it the eto that so a apart from say a contract the eto that so entities no omo play with us omo trick here bi wo kra enye contract enye generational contract eto that omo timi eye no in such a way say okay me na na kode ye and wo de kwa akon oni me na na wie ban all pay with the unity na za na na kono wasnacho na nani so no kra all right o ba obesa tene fie wa sa ye yi nti nya sa knowledge we say dey ite ken a na uhunu se ne obisi afre na okay wo se me na nani ko contract na ese no more review then because of your knowledge you know and e be bo am so say hey is the way no aba ne de ntimi ntwi mfa ne so saa so what you say nti no ni nyina so obenya knowledge we no aha no anye sese bo ba ya tete no wonwan mu na sebo ba no odwane wo ye sebo wo ye so powerful this entity krona ono na no call no contract no but because of say ya tete wonwan mu ye de niam bia hyehyɛ omu a usuru ade ni nti no sebo ba ba sisi a na wodwane mi wa so ye sebo no bia so wo benya sa na legend afi de no okay eh say me kwa me ye sebo nti sebo no ye ba metimi agina na me no ma face I can't do so Italian so but for Isaac
Thank for that.
Isaac come on saso intino wadaroma so besa masubi ma man Isaac bacho me mawakasa me da say
Pancho, good evening. Hello. Good evening.
ya ton kaminia kasa
Pancho, person visa say, inti ebia souls to say you're free. So play na ye ba we etheric plane honma. Like ye experience bet we etheric honma na said. And
No.
ye ba in full consciousness.
Yeah, no. Birth is just a concept. Planet beyond your movie. Okay. Yeah. So there is a birth. Let me say this: there's a birth, but not in the process of how humanity goes through it. Okay. Maybe there will no be papa and mommy, and no, it doesn't happen like that. Okay. So there's not actually birth. The birth is just a process here. Yeah, planet, it was being constructed. Then yeah, other souls will come into this very planet. But just kind of planet be also. Okay. Every planet or every universe, every realm have its own ways. They accept new souls. Souls in Ibu come about street. Okay, with their consciousness, depending on the realm, depending on the laws and the physics, or depending on the level.
me bacho Isaac ita me ba me bacho Isaac me tu ho ai ne tie you know the noise wo we in achi
Okay.
Yeah. So Isaac, when we are coming, there's no actual birth. We just come through with our consciousness. Okay. Yeah. I think birth is just a lower level stuff, which is how to do mostly in the physical plane. Some of the astral planes also there is also some kind of birth. Some of the realms. But on the higher planes in there's like the causal mental plane. There's no birth idea more. They just come in with their consciousness. Yeah.
okay yeah that's Isaac ye take na no say ye ya sati so ye earth ha na ye wo no enti no ekwan a so fa so ba no different but it depending on realm ni plane so neighbor but just what you say na ye nto aso Isaac me tell response so
Matthias. And
okay,
about the contract. Pancho, about the contract, no. You find say, ebia obi ni una na bi akọ contract and san ye be wo so etimi affect one like oni wa akọ like oni na akọ da and san ye wo
I don't know me case one. It makes me affect you based on the contract for. And I don't know. But I don't think say me no come here. Me no give me contract. Say okay, me no contract. If you know, the whole generation. A man who you know so whatever it is. A man some kind of man or you know they used to know my asika. So man some more. I don't know what I'm gonna actually do or what I was expecting from you, where I'll be brandly, go or sign this sort of contract where the whole entire generation, the immediate it might happen. I'm just saying. But most of the time, people are kind of the generation, not America. And your generation are the but just for some moment, some of our normal debut. It's just a trick to trick you thinking that there was a contract. And then one, yeah, then there's gonna be a problem. And so now switch through and all that stuff, you start doing it. So the question in this case, most of the time it will depends on the contract. And two, most of the time, trick. They just trick us to believing there's a contract, and then we start doing certain stuff for them. But no matter energy is near them, it start to become more powerful in the astral. That is basically how. Isaac, but what else?
Matthias that's
Yo, yeah, that's it. Isaac, yeah, that's it. So, Pacho, now Mark's kitchen. Pacho, wait me, Akasa.
Abusuafoɔ mekyerɛkyerɛ mu nyinaa mo ho te sɛn?
Yeah, pa.
Nyame adom. Yɛda mo ase sɛ nnɛ nso mama yɛahyia. Na Ɔfayita ɛrekasa no, na ɔka sɛ spirit being bi anaa entity bi ɛne wo ɛrema wo nneɛma anaa wɔkyerɛkyerɛ wo nneɛma a, ɛsɛ sɛ wobisa no sɛ who are you anaasɛ ɔyɛ hwan? Me question ne sɛ kwan bɛɛ so na abɛfa so abɛbisa no? Wobɛbisa no afa w'adwene no mu anaasɛ wobɛbie w'ano aka sɛ woyɛ hwan?
Yeah, each of them works. Nama,
Pacho, okay.
they say you're cutting in and you can use that.
Auntie said, mmienu na mmeka no nyinaa, if I can use that, na kyerɛ sɛ wobisa saa question ne wie a, wobɛyɛ still na wama wo answer anaasɛ sɛn?
Yeah, so you need to understand, sir, who send you a message that when you say after the old friend a call, okay. It is all friend now. Maybe I was busy, maybe I want to call. Normal your life, maybe you'll be busy, I want to call. The ones why. On your business, well, yeah, I'll be call this is right? So, I'll be the psychic call to request for an answer. Maybe at the corner back in the immediate time I open. Because I'm I need it. No, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. Look, the moment see what to send any message to any being in this entire multiverse, according to straight. Now it is a matter for the person to say obey you one only one. Which was to see baba better. Now make you woman young retard so nipa way whatever I say, no will be one and casual whatever it is. Now send this a manner. Okay, now in the case of Ubia, what would be? So sending us an answer number, maybe the person has been reincarnated. So that is a different. But so American, they meant to have some new information. Now, in order for you to sorry, in order for you to understand this, also we need knowledge. What is the mind? Okay, who am I? What is the whole universe entails? We talk about vibration, frequency, and energy. We talk about thoughts. We understand everything is within the mind, a lot of mentalism. So the moment I close my eyes, I have a mental image or sound or idea or question now I send it to the universe, or when I send it to whoever the destination, or I send it to it now, it start to happen. It start to go straight up. So I think the secret this very also as so much thinking, so be he or whatever it was. As simple as it takes. Also, yeah, no, we don't really understand the mechanisms of how this stuff works. So we think we need to do some tedious works or say yeah, who be and I say and be and son a bit my son way. Where we are already powerful. Our mind is also one of the powerful things that exists. Everything is within the mind, the law of mentalism. Whatever we believe, it creates our reality. Whatever we set our minds on, we start to achieve with persistency and with consistency, we achieve it. So the same thing that when we get the knowledge of the mind of how it actually is, then we know that even a kasakra keke is a vibration, it's a word, it's an energy. Na kasa be kasa atira akra, e won nkra bem. Or be kasa atira obi, e bit ma change the mood, e bit ma na ni age. It means your words carries power. Okay, and that is not only your words, but I'm trying to use it to make the scenario. O kind of cry to me change you be. It's me obi you to be cast to obi so na nipa ko na wu. And as for yare, I said you be better free one. Every man nipa ko na ni age na beti mama na ra ho. So it means we carry power. Okay, words is power, is a frequency vibration. The same way your is also powerful. That while we start think about our life, you're focusing about our life, we start doing it. It start to have an effect. It start to happen in our life. The same way, the moment we start to send any telepathic communication to any being in the universe, okay, it starts straight up. It gets to that person or that being. Now it is that being, as is our friend, one man that telepathic call communication. It is that being to bring you back the information, or it is for up to that being to answer the question. Sometimes it may take a little bit of time, depending on whatever the being was doing, or the being was busy. Okay, I don't know where you be, or the bush for your meeting, do anything you want or your father. But what we are saying is, so send a message to any being here. That being also have a personality, also a life. So obey ye at the end and pray and I say, obey my watch and our next week and our next month. And how would it be yano? No, obey to me, yano. I found that assume obey to me, yano. Say or the information, on the telepathic message, that information that be go out. Now, in order to say obey that communication, you now your communication, you need to understand how to receive, how the information comes. Or send information in console. Answer the macron who's the answer because we need he does not understand the psychic stuff. Okay, so sending that wait a minute, sorry, I'm coughing, so move on to me. Oh, sending I did not call it's easy. May say or guardian angel or whatever the being is. Also may take you even to the astral. Send a message to go. It is only when you realize you have this power in you that you can do it. If you don't have it, you cannot do it. If you don't have the realization of it, you can't do it. If you have that, you can say, oh, my higher self, boss, today the family call. Send that. So if the time is good, that's what before. The person will come and take you. You see? Yeah, but back to you. Now my question, yeah. Send you two example now, it works. But also you need a certain knowledge, awareness be first to know, sir, whatever you are sending, it is working. And again, how say information about you'll be able to receive it and interpret it. Send out say at the corner and send it back to you. Now my hopes that what's the mechanism?
Mepacho Matias pa na obi kae sɛ yabrɛ nipadua ne adwene ne nyinaa abrɛ ɛna yanantenante a na afei ne yababa beduru ha enti enema na wo kyerɛ no sometimes no it sounds so easy, but say say free line so na ka ye nko a wo fie. Me, I'm speaking for myself. E ka me nko a wo fie practicing it no enye easy. Efa ne say ujago adwumasem enkwala hwe abrabomu na wo sade we no practices ne ka ho no. Ena bete ena eniema no so hedi egu yetiri nim no obi ka ayese na ewegu concrete na achi ye wutumi disi dan kura eyeyi esidan na wie nti afe na ye mu bi se no ye bubu no nti bubu no ena fom edu ba bia aya na agye se wa wugina ho na wo ne wadwen na kasa se ade ye yedi egwurawura wutumi nyina bubu nkakran nti ama ye mu bi say we are walking in a slow pace. Tina me bisa say as we are walking in a slow pace no. Enye den a ye bedru ho ana se enkoso a ye mra ne nkakran because me say it very difficult for me say me sorry na say me meditate a the most hardest ones me problem pa me
Yeah.
problem me
So,
problem pa because minya tena se say me meditate a enema etimi ba mitim na bro billions of billions wo nti me struggle, to be frank, me struggle papa manka na me boa
yeah.
me
So
struggle pa
I know your friends in the matrix. You see, and sometimes because the matrix, or the simulation, and I'm again sometimes it become a little bit harder because even your life situations will not even make you do the practices. And I want you so who at the exam no man told you now or no man told
mhm
water.
mhm
And you need to survive. And I said that you need to do this. So am I entangled here with a very serious entanglement? We cannot actually remove ourselves from. Ebusiasɛm ne abrabom ne adwuma na wobɛyi so sɛnea woka no wotra se sɛ ɔyɛ practices na ɛnɔma asase ɛwurawura w'adwene mu.
se ade ba ko amaye ho ade pa ne se aka ne no wo sori anopa a wo routine wo sori anopa wo bu nkotodwe wabɔ mpaye waye morning devotion aduane na obedi bɛbɔ so mpaye ensuo na bɛn mo bɛbɔ so mpaye wo kwa adwuma bɛbɔ mpaye sa routine no it has been there with us for a long time me tietie teachings ya wodi amaye ya no ma sha ase correct say okay mɛbɔ mpaye a mpaye na mɛbɔ no me mbɔ ne sɛ awurade ehyira aduane no so ma me o seesiesie o meka kyerɛ me ho sɛ me higher being aduane me nɛrɛhye de sɛ ɛmbra nipadua no ma nipadua no enya ahoɔden ne enyane ɛwɔ ne spiritual self na ontimi nya ade a wɔde ba awia nti ma adwene na brɛ because
Yeah, so mama,
I hope that me point na making it across.
Ita.
I want to finish across. So yeah, no matter my
Me pacho yem se mami dress metimi a aboa ye nua ba kakra.
yeah, cameraman one tips be nanka.
Me pacho any of the kasawi.
So now my
Papa.
with example, see a car say words have power. I just know the one who did too. What?
Meji
Right?
too. Mm.
Thank you. Why are there power? I like the too. You see, so sometimes I think that when you're young, I want somewhere. But anyama you catch you we. Musiano hey. It is the basics, or not basics, the fundamentals. Okay. Now as time goes on, and all the techniques maybe sometimes and there might be techniques they be a better, but I'm a beginner so. But for the intermediate, now I catch myself. Yeah, chamo the fundamentals now. And I may go how also so they want you know kick boom. Okay, say now catch them there, them so me can one or two way boom now. with the same fundamental, based on the same fundamental principle now. It is gonna work. So I think that this practice might go for everybody. So even a channel boy, I don't know the word empire or no museo, also using your higher self. You can also infuse it with different intention. Okay, maybe my higher self or the source. Anyway, yeah. Okay, let Emma me whatever it be okay. Emma me tell that in here. The dear Jaminu show we are. Then as I can say, I'm quite that. And one projection. Right? Where's half so the moment you say things to all this at the corner, send a bomb pine, you can also fuse it with different intention. It works. And some catch say, do you understand when you say where's half far now you see the word Mijitum? Now Ujitum there, then with this little knowledge of you knowing it, then every little thing you can apply it with different intention, whatever you want in life. Maybe anyway, I think the easiest ones here, manager Arisa, Eko Menko, Marisa, not only Arisa, maybe a January Eko Mimua. Emma means me and Coin and now blockages here will meet a demo be intimate, not meeting me a projection of fast. Or me, Emma mean that connection with the source. Obama in my dreams or my daily life, I can see the glory or I can actually know the truth of this universe. I'm just making an example. You can also infuse it so that you can get different ways of doing the practice and enhancing on the practices for quicker results. Okay. Nama, I would say this one is very clear and simple.
Wait there, clear. One mama here, because now, in fact, in the past struggle, oh bonfire no come here, we empire na free hono, and no see a problem. A whole lot, but Matthias say no Matthias how to go around, it.
So, Nana, my phone. Which number?
Yo,
Medicine.
yeah, me pacho. The ananka can eat a part of it, but the person wow so say Emre Biano. First of all, no, on say ye mamu sa blue circle no. Blue circle no a quiet fast for yenini. A quiet fast yeno, you say it actually. Oshe blue circle na because okazan ye say ya na wa draining them. And you near the mom said the bear will be to me stay focus. Now what pay attention to one thing. And then only the kind of mom said the bear wow practices. The blue circle no sha now what cut away in what I say in your mind eye no ubetimi a blue circle no kwa a quite fast way in the back on. Would you be when you now sha be 5 minutes, 10 minutes now betimi as long as you can. Maybe I'll start the problems when you start deep to Sony. And no boy. And when you start deep to Sony, I don't know what more to stay focused on one thing at a time. And so with me, back and forth. Oh, you know what I tell you, I say, you cycle know that's the what dream. And I say, your mind, I know, is stay focused on blue cycle. So you are training yourself. If you just say, I can say, this is a skill. You're training yourself to be able to stay focused on one thing. And 2 years, I won't say, after the year, what the idea to when you say, we na measure. What capture the no wagging? A corner me first year, me the end say, you are me share blue circle net and me nama, name who be a Yahano, your direction at the Nam Highway, a board, any sign near the down man, ya for alpha. But me capture the old council. Never come cordon one, not me say, Sadi and the Fampa, was the man. Description be our imagining. Tisani at the capture, no only blue circle no one. When you anything be out, me showed Oceano, bare few seconds. Now I capture. We only bare few seconds. No, what catoni now when you say your mind eye, if you can still see that thing. Another one with me, stay focused. There told me in this say for intention, this one so be a masorano pamatanasi. And then really, na me person me yes, see me so. Sign intention, no. And no na would ye projection and answer open so day. And obia with those issues now what can it be? But they made there be I mean someone say here. That's the first thing I will tell you also tell you sound here na a programming yeah programming yeah see 3 months and usi canon yeah this I foundation I concrete. Yes, I agree with you. For some of us, you know, yeah, quite sorry, I near maybe 1990 for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. If you cry and pennyful baby platform is on my end for at least 60 years. Now, I feel that we have this knowledge in everything, kakra, but I was starting kakra, saying a mistake and stay focused on one thing. O blue circle, no sha. Now, you and you know, I say, oh, mind, I let me catch. And start to say, yeah, ABR, obey 2, 3, 4 times, then yeah, you buy 3 walk on the oh, start the enya, 9 start the enya, now a breast away nasty. And at the chat to one, I can say, on say, yeah, well, sorry, you boom go to J, I mean, so morning devotion, and you mere devotion here, and no dear, yet to me, yet, and no dear, near to me, your time, yeah, but a do way now. A little bit different. Yeah, change is hard. I understand. Sometimes we change it from the idea why you have for years, no change it hard. But who make effort so and no na ubet me aye day, ubet me aye. Or so born home modia. And no na all say born home modia. Me kanema kaya me I say be an Bible that make us on the Bible. Or say a bra Isaac ni so. Isaac Esau beji Jacob in Sinako, Jacob beji Esau in Sinano the coin. Or catch and say Esau by and so born home modern. Did you why modern one? I was so put in some effort, and this go to everybody. Young for effort cancel because of say you did for near maybe Yaman Ayadin Kakra. It's not easy. But Kakra meet me at the amount. So here be also now here more a year. Now play a movie where Chirana say yeah. You bet me any after Kakrania require the first one a bit one. May I say?
And my last one with the intention, and only I can't count because I don't know some of us. You can stop by merely intention. Which must stop your mind wandering mainly with intentions. Now, in order for you to do that, you need to treat the mind as an entity, a part of you, which is separate from you. So that the truth goes in this way. So when two people are talking to you, or when you are listening to you, let me say when two people are talking to you, sometimes you can choose to listen to any one of them that you like. Now, I hope so. I don't hope so with you. So the time you know, Kasa,
Pachai.
sometimes, I think the time you know, Kasa, is here. Wait to make you when I meet you, when I meet you. Remember,
Pachai.
now, so we are not a one now. Why do you not and yourself as a different entity? And when the mind starts remember when you say any kind of Kasa, so now who
Mm-hmm.
intention is now in order to you need to have a mental focus. For example, because um let's say you don't want let's say you want to just be in a state of nothingness, or you just want to be in a state of maybe you are thinking about the soul. Now, so and also who treat the mind and as a nipa. So as I said, you have the intentional no ability to say over ignore no. Okay, fine. I said so. So na make no. Over fan to say the only nipa na kasa. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
need you when I meet you. And all you need to do is put all your attention on at the corner, the opposite or the opposite way. Then that will actually shift the settling of the mind. And I say, wandering of the mind. That shifting everywhere where you can be able to focus on at the corner opposite way. Okay.
Pastor Matthias here.
How do I sacrifice for you?
Medasi bebree. Medamasi.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, brain copa back any premier no me phone. Joseph Corte and uni. You know, Joseph may allow now I can my farmer. Joseph Macho.
Oh, okay. Mary Patrol, good evening to everyone. In fact, like I'm really, I'll take my question and what is the concept of sex? The concept of sex. So that sex has effect on our soul. And our tune so sperma a wasting like the semen a wasting. It does also have effects on our spiritual life, like your soul and thank you.
Another one. Will you answer? Then I'll come in later.
Yeah, so meaning kakra meka the other teachers so I be obedient be back on it them. The idea of sex no oh yeah energy na mumienu oba ne be ma ni nyina mode ye utimi use the same sex energy no the create niema timi di nya niema bi ma ho. Yeah, juma. People know if you know how to do it and if you know how to deal with it, but the concept say, oh, we anyway akoda and a bonnet and I say we are saying no, there's nothing like that when it comes to soul level. When it comes to soul level, no, sex, has nothing to do with your soul, but as say a energy exchange, into oh yeah, and I say we obi get into it also who say okay nipa we am ni kwa akoye we no the energy unit saying or the bet me that sucking me energy and I don't mean fan sucking me energy. That is your own determination. Yeah, also make it. But as to send me any if you want to say okay from Christian background, from Islam background, from whatever background, you classify and I say you target no say no. We do not see it like that. Say me yeah, agree. So okay, my partner, my girlfriend, my and I say you me agree. Say if I say this now, nothing stop us from doing it. At the end of the day, sperm and kasano, a year would any idea creative sperm no, a maneba. Tino be only the ya not or lucky some nutrients like make us or low sperm count. A energy, aduane na wu kofa di no afi energy. So meaning about so what you say and the sanity sana minimum understanding now say when it comes to this part it's here but it has no influence and no be ma so number for more na only according to crown where you feel there was all day and you be gary now okay the me crown and why you feel next time they are by could it has nothing to do with anything because my body not the gary no and it's all about when nobody new energy we are then we they come and say they will receive but has nothing to do with the soul. Kakra meka no na teachers ni bi di aso so na it aso so.
Yeah, I think the sex idea, no? It's quite interesting. So yeah, when it comes to the sex, first of all, um, um, it doesn't really have an effect though. But as we could all say, there's an energy involved. So my advice is, find the best person, and just be careful about who you have sex with. It is rather than the one you have having the sex with, you know. But if you know you can protect your energy, you can protect other stuff, then it is fine. Yeah. So the act itself is not bad. It helps, reduces stress, and all that sort of stuff. So it's good for you to do it, but choose the right person to have it with. So, especially yes, sir. You can your energy vampires where they can actually drain your energy, and then there will be a whole lot of stuff. So there's no effect on another American in the whole stuff, but the effect in America, sir. All you need to do is just be careful about it. I can't okay, because it's more like you are coming together and binding your energies up. Okay, so you should learn how to work, or you should learn how to have the good person to have the sex with. Okay, and it doesn't really affect your evolution or no no my own. It has nothing to affect about your state of consciousness or your evolution of consciousness or all this sort of stuff. But again, you're a different path. Okay, Obianan in church. You have to do semen retention. Ebi mu say you have to do and you can also have sex. And why you clean, why you holy. Ebi mu say have sex, and all this sort of stuff, right? But you know, we view things differently. Okay, so we don't want to be bad because say. We view these things differently, and there's no more of explanation why. Because the reason why is that it does not have any effect on the soul whatsoever. The soul is just cannot be cannot be doing it. So it can only affect your subtle bodies, maybe your astral body, you know, and most of them, about semen retention, all this sort of stuff. Most of the time, the Mukasa about for and say, especially when it regards or in regards to the projection now, they do astral projection. Okay, we don't actually do it because it is a low form of travel. Okay, so in the astral projection, I think we may teach astral projection. No, is because your consciousness is using another vehicle, another body. Okay, because you have five bodies. You have the physical body, astral body, causal body, mental body, and etheric body. It is a senior physical body ni o de ye bibia also didi yie o shape ni yie senior obetime use ni the same way that the astral body no so no you need to feed it with different form of energy sir obetime aligning so that you can have those form of astral projection so I don't know be your memoir fasting or memoir fasting or memoir what did they call it my own having sex because they they want to utilize the sexual energy for you to have those experiences. And every energy is an energy. People also use emotional energy. They project through the energy of love. Okay. And also project it through the energy of life, love. Okay. And also project it through the energy of anger. These are all energies. But just per se, baby a free burner mostly come from the Hindu stuff. They like the Kundalini idea. So they want to use the sexual energy. But that is not the only energy that is in the body. You can use love to project. You can use all any form of emotion, the everything that you do, because that too is an energy. You find the energy transmutation. Okay? But when we come here now, we are dealing with the soul, with the consciousness. Okay? We are dealing with higher state of consciousness. We are on a multiversal level, dealing with different multiverses and different planes of existence. So most of the time, per your perception and per your state of consciousness, no, it gives you authority it gives you some advancement in certain practices. So I do because what the bounce when you know you are so your consciousness, that thing is enough for you. Okay. Yeah, so I don't want to tell really much, but I just didn't hear your whole mother there. So yeah, so the sex is just an act. Okay. Learn it is good, it's wonderful. I think we'll be able to have it. It's wonderful. It's part of us. It's part of creation. It's part of the whole. Okay, and even if it is bad, good and evil is the same thing. They are of the same energy. You see. So it is not about the good and the bad of the stuff. It is about how you use it, the intention of it, the perception you have when you are doing it. In them all have the ability to change the vibrational frequency about the whole stuff. So when we come here, we don't deal with the sex idea, whatever. I know hear it, and have fun, because it's part of life. It also chemical. It make you born more. You know, there's a whole um, biological importance. We need to have it. We need to do it. But again, you can't say you need to do it. So, faculty show. That is not what we are saying. Okay, we are saying find the right person, the right people, or the right person. Let me use that word. The right person to do it with. Okay, so that because when you are having it with somebody, well, of a great energy, positive energy, then you are all gonna have the same energy, which is positivity. Now, so when you be a negative vibrate vibration, yeah, the whole concept almost said to know whatever no be that if you are home you have a do with whatever. The whole idea is that so no be having sex mo come auric field in the bomb. Auric field in the boom. Now when the auric field kabuma, it makes both of the auric field and opens up. And see, so the chrono, if the person have an entity attachment to the him or her, when you have that sex thing with that person, those entities can duplicate themselves because a frequency. If the background frequency, women having sex in it, you've drawn or you have reduced to the person's frequency. And energy is an energy, but I think person may call because the sex when it is happening now, the negative can bring the positive down, and the positive can bring the negative up. So when you be having sex, not only in the right mind, you can liberate the person from that sexual act, or anxiety or depression. Now, unya obi no ne ebia obi a open obi na something na me dofo bi no ne have the sex na. It liberate the person from that vibrational frequency. Na me ne abeje na man how nyina so atwa. Your go for bon so almost negative. Also you're positive now so one here. Don't have your bed drag you down. After a couple of days, you start to have the same traits, the same effects, the same anxiety issues the person is going through. So you start having it. So the question comes, how can you regulate this vibrational frequencies? Because a frequency. Now the frequency doesn't mean it's about affable. A frequency. A bit to me at some monthly frequency I'd say how I work here. Obu and need to mention. We be cast a meeting and the frequency not change. So it means we cannot be always be positive in a high positive energy. We cannot be. We cannot also be in a negative vibration throughout. Sometimes there are gonna be positive energies. There are gonna be negative frequencies. Sorry, and positive frequency. Ade a yɛka no huhu nyina ɛninya ade a ɛhu ebi wɔ ha w'ani tɛmɛ gye aa wohu obi ka asɛm baako bi tua na awerɛ ho na frequency na sesa obi wɔ ha wotumi yɛ higher vibration woyɛ meditation na nim sɛ ɔne ahonhom ne di nkɔmmɔ bi wobɛhu sɛ wokunu bi a na wadamfo bi abɛhyɛ wɔ abufuo na wabu afu na wate asa ada right? It's just simple way now their philosophy and right? So it means frequency can change daily and you might be match new frequency. Obi castle or kind of radio so a bit match new frequency the whole day. Or once I bet you want to be able your papa be able to choose it can be when you just the whole day a frequency. So So it can change. So the same way Nipa and another have sex, that changes can happen. We might get into the level, we might get into the lowest. That is why sometimes uti amount for array or some more. Oh, and it's an amount for capitalizing on that psychological trick. Oh, no, I could pull beer. The nine and a B and an inside in the B, sometimes that ready to share the vibratory level the person is going through. Now also a be. Now also raho, and then you give the money to the person. Or because you've now started to vibrate on a level where the person actually is. So the frequency can changes. It can be good or can be negative. But the most important is that we learn how to regulate the frequencies. So if it is down, what am I going to make it go up? If it is up, how can I make it go down? Because believe me, there are some places, stuff in life, you need to reduce your vibration to the lowest level. These are all part of the game. Okay? Lower vibration, higher vibration, these are all part. There's no say you need to be only be on the positive vibration. Sometimes you should also be in the negative. Obaya de na person bona ucha ne to home now if I say in that case oba be ni pabonini na de atia no mo na hunyansa. But sometimes you're on the higher daddy vibration. So better the man over here, but Jimmy dia no we reduce vibration about from no wa hwe no wa ba from no wa abu afu obu abu fu ikra ba say na obe tire ne nyansa kakra nti no wa say da ba abufu bi ababi no wa hwe no say na obe du besu nyansa. So sometimes we need higher vibes, sometimes we need lower vibrations to work. It all works together. This is all about understanding about the cosmic universe stuff and about who you are as a soul, as consciousness, and how to use our wisdom and our knowledge to regulate these energies. Okay, both the negative and the positive. That's who we are. Now back to the sex stuff. It's the same stuff. Still goes on. Have it as much as you like. It's all part of the game. There's no sin idea here, whatever it is. But again, find the right person. Don't be another comment. That is not what you're saying. Find the right person, do it. And I think when you are doing with someone you love, I think there's a higher positive vibration that comes from it. I think 90% of us, or I think all of us here, have experienced it. So there's no bad things in it. And the sperm idea, yes, it is an energy. We are to be bread. I don't know who did you know of your yeah. Also correct. Because you are depleting energy. The same way sex and OEMs were obebre. It doesn't mean that I know what this concept now, what this sex now lose energy. But also, you lose energy too. So it is not only a honor energy be from Kubi Wana. You lose energy being a new quasi a way on the actually just to harvest our sexual energy, because the whole idea of this retention sex with sperm retention idea is to use it to rise the kundalini energy. And we have succubus and incubus. These beings usurp our sexual energies and that is why they bring on the porn industries and all this sort of stuff, because they know they cannot do it. And then you cannot, do anything. Maybe you go watch some porn stuff and you bust a whole lot of energies into the eaters. And then they start eating it like no more fun, baby. Right? But it's a concept people have, believe it, it's fine, it works for people. But the whole idea says, yeah, the sperm is nice, it's good, it's the one of the function is that I'm saying and I want to more James and more fight, I'm Obana Benyam now, Abewu, and all this. Yes, it is says, hello, Manada Makomba, Jamaica. I'll be friendly soon.
It's
So there's no special stuff anywhere to say the things there. I don't know, but I'm connotations to the person now will be a question as about the sex idea. I think say well, he's been listening to some way some place where they're talking about the sex idea being sacred and all the you don't need to have sex. We also clean before it becomes spiritual and all this sort of stuff. Where there's nothing to be spiritual of. Everything is already spiritual already. The red spirit goes back to energy, vibration, frequency. And even the way we are saying doesn't contain energy. Everything in this universe is part of the source. It's part of the whole. And both the negativity, both the positivity need to be experienced as part of the whole. You understand? So it is your knowledge and wisdom and the intention about whatever you are doing. And I will infuse it into with that. Then it is gonna create your reality, or you're gonna benefit from it, or not benefit from it. You see? So we don't want to say that yeah, but the first stuff, yeah, please have it. Enjoy yourself. Life is too short for you to be thinking about this sort of stuff. Where about on the cosmic arena, the sex idea does not even count. Bro, what's up? You are talking about the stuff in the higher plane, you talk about sex, right? But again, San Americano, find a white person to have it with. Okay. Um, you know, make sure the person is the right person, not a bad person, and you are dealing with that person. That is very good. You see, sir, or very high positive energy, and you are dealing with that person. Okay, so it does not affect your spiritual growth or your enlightenment or your. It doesn't affect anything. Okay, number I think I was going over there.
All right,
What
yeah, that's
Itampacho mpese medi kakraka di okay no.
okay, Francis, continue.
Okay. Okay. I think success there no. Ye nyina ye be join ye na ye wo that mentality. Me kai pa se baby bi ana me wo. Na yes yes u stay holy. Yes we me di achira ma ita e ka say nka ma ware kura guye. Because you say me meditate na me mpese asem. Chama so enti ase because only u part no. Nti at the end of the day no e ka kete. So some every time me join mu dey ya mu chechire mu say chere na say oh okay, if we are souls now the cells don't have anything to do with the soul now. Why don't I find? And I bet you since then, and near masses, Nachama, ye happy. Minya ye me practice. Me practice so I'm project so a copper. And say it a crack. I say after that crap project here, it's me koye pa mount. Which me high levels now. And then I think that in some places where they will let you do all these things. But sometimes you have to be careful because at the end of the day, we are souls and the souls don't know sex or whatever it is. It's we as Sita said, it's about the person that you have to go have that thing with. Somebody who will not suck your energies. That is the one thing you should take note of. If the person is your husband, a person is your girlfriend, you can't when to children such in may spirituality is holy, not say name so. Because some are not near me, yes, and the piano, me, me, spirituality, tembiano. Na me ora no bad because before fear it wo ho na abofu hu de be na bibia trigger na before here and there it bia the negative energies na won chen all the time but so bia energy of fear you also have your peace to grow your good auras around you. So that is a little I can say about it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my Francisca. Oh, David. Wait, I'm so much at any on my custom of the car, wait, everybody come, because I'm there. Madam, in the meeting, none of parties, and the idea and the pie, the penny. Aha, and in the eater, everybody come, Mr. You okay? And to be about your, I'm say, my you, I was so, me found, let me be things, it's times that we shall forbear for some moments as well,
sex ready. They say me, but they don't worry. If I try,
Mate,
yeah,
mate, nti nipa three no, yɛwie a bɛfa mo ɛm sɛ Joseph asama ne nsa so na Barnabas ɛna G yɛfam mmiɛnsa wie a na afei no yɛde nnɛ aba wie but maa yi mpatwɛ yɛtie o.
Hello, abusua mpacho mama ajo mechiachia mu nyinaa.
Ɛgye so.
Mepacho with a quick one. Na earlier on ita kasa eka to say we busa bibia like so baby one no I can say sister back busa question about my question has been long. It looks I'm losing focus. Yeah. The na me pese me hu ni say me fan say o pese ubusa bibi o dream bibi ho a and I manifest bibi a do you have to say it, or when it's you are silent does it count, or as I say ubi no eka and sana ade na activate, for instance fan say ye call sorry a yɛbɔ mpaeɛ bi wɔ a yɛyɛ silent yɛsi bi wɔ no wopɛ sɛ woyɛ silent but the only de bɛka kyerɛ sɛ bi wɔ ano na ɛkasa na you know. So I just want to find out sɛ wopɛ sɛ wo manifest biribi anaasɛ wopɛ sɛ wobusa biribi a do you have to open your mouth, or you can be silent and the thing will just work? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Atisafoɔ ɛwɔ ha. Ɛm sɛ the sika na wayɛ din paa na n'afrakoma wayɛ din institute ma sɛ institute so abanti wei deɛ mpamkyɛw mo mu bi bɛfa ama yɛn a.
this is that thing so we do.
Institute wɔ adwuma the sika.
Hello.
Yes sir.
Yeah. Have some ceremony. My best fikiri of fear cause problems. I will have me pens to share dwelling me be. Me hit and I'm in so free mover. Okay, said yes, sister Nekano. Yenum Yinano that's so sorry because of the family issues. Koja sorry CCR now Yirijawa. Uncolami and sound of Mokoi. Spirituality, Oma Yirijawa, not just a wisdom no cry nyajuma. Nti stay now near so dear chili bar for late to attack microphone still. But ye call on man, the more can be and return it. And as a member can be an so no. Ye download another thing out of it. Now Mumpai Bonnet, Moko Bunkumana Mikonifa, a Mumpai in Kuma town for a minute town for be anti one say, Mistress or son say, oh, mammy energy no, and bright. Nano Michiran go for be there, Adia so Yankupon ye jack, when Yankupon ye cania. Onyankopon yɛ honhom omunti ase energy eja kanea light tie so Onyankopon yɛ light the same energy na no the ball tie kwa asole na yɛ bɔ mpa ya na no yɛ kwa watch night so for the munjira muhum ayɛ nsere Onyankopon sɛ ɔma mu nani oja. Look at this, you are oja dada nti nimdi a wunim nti na so na kɔ kan we no de agye sika. At the end of the day no you we 2 million 4 million 5 million 10 million 12 million ne growth should go, which is we oja dada nti unim nti there was a lack of knowledge my people perish. Nima unim nti se unimu a de no kura na say adwene. It was a stillness, let the waters be still, or kasa for brain ho tino kaja was shape wa igina nsuo ni a ehihim no enya de papa bi amfiri Nyankopon nkyɛn. Ni nyina ye brain. Whole Bible was coded. Won't you say I mistake? And nkrofo musro wo mu no free Mason ni hwanhwan mu na kodu Bible ni nyina. Mu na ye ade ni nyina de bai. Nti betima ye still, because everything work in your brain as a mind thinker, so shall it be. Ye wa no nti wo se mun kasa sa abosomfo. Omu kasa omu yidide ngura o distort mind no brain no o distort no, but in says obey din na wa focus ade na opese si no as a mind thinkers so shall be by din Upese bibi nisia ufocus adeɛ no, you bring it into your mind's eye because you are energy being no, then you infuse into that thing no, it will work. Then say bi obeti atem kaya and for bibia man. Still now no, we do it, but we do it in more effective way than say yɛbɛyɛ nneɛma bi a ɛho nhia no. Yes, wobɛyɛ steady. Now I bring it the thing, everything you know, you visual, you study it, how you want the thing to work, no, you infuse your energy into it. Now the na shall say you man dance obey the day bra, you don't know what behind the day no. So now you are the behind the day no, so you just keep silent and you work things out. Kakra mekano nana.
Yo, yeah, that's the figure. And that, my Francisca, I will be out with me just as well.
Me patron the sika aka ni nyina because uji wo di se wo yeso a say only inner self and kasa all the time. It is say ubie wano akasa just asem no kra na pre free wano bampo kra ni mpo na obi besie enye adwuma biem. Say onya abotena oni umu kasa. There are times I say utimi bie wano ya affirmations. Eno ewo ho. But she said, I sorry, them the day, and it is a vibration, a raise keke. But and sure that yeah, dear, yes, so we see uko mu now snasi din now no mune kasa and only on pie bono, and who he has obe be one no be brave akasa. Takra me kaka.
At least the speaker will be
Mpacho,
quotation by for say Muntu or something. The
Says,
speaker will
or
Or oh bompire.
right.
To what
Komu,
plum no pumem,
yes,
ne ko
ne
mu.
komu,
Now, or Bible, ne yeah, what is now where your water now, or wo akumemuno, and now wo muno, or betty. Enti
yes.
indirectly no to what plum no, and one non na yapono no technically, and I won't put on a can when ni one no when ni, and was most of the time. Baby, how quiet as some no canteen, I say indirect. The also for the ATM. Mommy, you.
Papa, Matthias, Pana, what's the difference between say oh yeah affirmation that one when it's quiet like silence too, does it work? And I say and also I know there you have to voice
I
it.
think they mean they are all okay because affirmation, you know, ubet me the one waka. And one thing I must say, me okazana drop a grand say answer na semono ebe pie free one no. Na what the car can wo mu answer na pie free one because answer na assembly abeba or eba utimansa. So you create it answer na waka. And at the end of the day, nimi enu nyina affirmation make me atena se aye din na ma fe ni bibia wo mitim and na make me atena se na ma ka affirmation so ama ni nyina so aye adwuma at the same time ni nyina ye you energy and frequency no and vibration how the be DFT obi wo kra o kan wo ni mu ba na asem no kra o kan no ankasa on jintu ana onyini ti the energy how the DFT no kra anye first of all obi wo so a obeka no na name ni energy anyway odi di etie no ana omini ne all kan kasa odi unim odi say perfect and on doubt no ni mu ba bia you know unim say eye ya ampa se bisi aye adwuma ama no me aba ko ati
Nana Adumako, on say sorry them prepping, no. Some people are so full neck, now Kadinaki, a radi yes way, with the end. No. As a obo can I okadi, and the adrenal, Anka said near some necky. Obi can I okadi. But it's affirmation say no. A big one what's nothing what throw affirmation, negro. It won't show in an adrenal econete. It is the moment I was sakano and link it as you understand whatever you are saying. The energy net very high. Idiot rate. It's no can. Why wouldn't be a walker? It's no money, yeah, Juma, entem. But sorry, the soft nama topic, and I will be the actually, and I want them he. It's just one cause I want to cry within the eka. Oh, no, I met difference, cry back. A people to meet na sorry them. And Pibono, or Timmy the night, you need the actually. It's me at CSA connected well. Almost uncle for net me a mouse, and a BBI energy. Eh, but yeah, they be no na sometimes no. A many panning to me connect ye. It's no be over sorry, the tika can no. Say over all right, but what you are on him dear or no. See, say or sophonica to say ya, or no him say, and yes, say, na Miss this direction. And it's a way no knowledge, when that is how it helps us. Even if self is a because of say a so chinchina ukuntu kobia. What ye hokra na wouldn't him dear oh ye. It is a muti wabo when some need to turn na vibration na costume. That's the time cry say who is spiritual person, what can I say quietly. Now where you shoot the energies around no, to project. I saw them on a crowd projecting. It is depending on the understanding and the energies that what they tie at the corner, you know, and then the man
Yeah. And I think the affirmations and all that sort of stuff is good. But the disciplinary behavior, or I want this best word for it. The work is not the sending of it or the affirming of it. No, it is the state of consciousness. Okay, behind the whole stuff. No, is the most important. Right? Right. So when I say that, if you have the knowledge and the understanding, you should also have the state of consciousness and the perception about what you're doing. Okay. So, for example, when you are asking information about the universe, I just say they tie in into the practices now, and I'm casting my camera. When you're asking knowledge from the universe, okay, universe. Okay, fine. You don't know how to discipline the mind. You don't know how to silence the mind to receive the information. You don't know how to be in the receptive mode to receive the information. Then you're not actually gonna get the whole information. So the techniques of how it's being done is easy. It's just sitting down, sending the information. That is all. But the process.
Nana Pasho Betinazo.
Bajo, Nanka, Miss Suggest say, it's an garbage all the it's always all the practice networks is here and sana due to the fact that we know air hard great time.
Your point, I'm a bit too.
Okay. And then say, Obiaman is such to be Godfred as Aman is such to be Godfred. Mema Wakasa.
Yeah, I think say that it's a casano, you know, I don't know, say be free me on. But menya beginning no casano, I all kind about downloads ni na me realize the reason I asked this question. Because during the day, you know, I mean, may hear a lot of thinking about issues, they say. So most of the time they say, I get instant answers in my mind. And I say, me no be a bon common as a dipano a day, maybe issue be bad. Instantly, there's something will click in my mind. I start giving the person solution to whatever nipano I can. Me this friend I don't know or when you experience DB, it looks like on Shadanti, like he has aid and all those things and or last minute all kind of experiences from me. And when I started explaining this to him, you know, I felt like say I was speaking from the mind of Ita, right? And I say I was giving him explaining things to him, like he was getting the whole thing, the whole picture of the experience. So I think say I wouldn't actually need to sort of have any external source but will continue use my mind to get answers to some of Nema within the week solution and I say answers, dropping my mind for me to get whatever it is. I think it's good that maybe within the week, I use that time to do all the yeah, I can build up to whatever it is that I'm building up. Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. And no one now, why contemplation, contemplate all those topics in the na answers. Yeah, that's it. In my terms, will be about every friend. Things that.
So, Guy Fred, I'm coming. So that is it. You see, that is what we are already doing here. It gives you and you kind of connect to what we call the universal mind. The universal mind, or what we call the totality of consciousness. So when that happens, the information will start flowing. Okay, and I think it's a mobile, so you get deeper into what we are saying. So when we come here, we start speaking, the information start to just drop. It just come and you just start to speak. Okay, and it's also part of the mystic arts. Okay, so these are things I'm going to experience as time goes on, as you all move forward. You start to speak with people, the information will start pouring, like you've connected to something, or you start speaking about stuff where you've not actually even learned before, right? And then the information starts coming. So yeah, Guy Fred, why are they up? That is very nice. And in this, what you did, you can actually download every information you want to download from the universe if you want to know your past life. But anyway, as you do the practice is not only designed for the projection, it's also designed for other stuff. So whilst you are doing the practice, don't actually pay attention to only the projection. Pay attention to your state of being, things that are actually changing within you, all the subtle stuff that is changing, because some of us will be getting different gifts out of the whole practices. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's because it looks like we are so fixated on the rejection no more. And I say, even if you don't have any experience, think so maybe you're not having any experience, you are so determined to get it. But with this experience, and I think it's also with your explanation, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because what I used to, when I used to experience this when I was a Buddhist, and then anytime I sit down to chant, that is when I get drops like that, but not when I am just there like now. You understand? So I've seen that is some kind of improvement because of the exercise in this animal. Yeah, thanks.
Yo, yeah, that's it. That's it, Guy Fred. If I told him, say, Peggy. Peggy, me back over to me, Agasa.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Peggy.
Actually, my name is Nyankopon Dum, Yenina Obia Hoye. And then, Sister Abigail teachings, Nama, me have come to, as a all teaching, na me reminisce on Mishano. The Kaiser Mishano, na me take as a more friend, Mr. Bian Peninsen, because and same be or na me kika, na bisa questions be. Na ebi a almost before. So it got to a point in time I was afraid of myself because I was asking, say, na you see me before, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean say because now me so Diana the can assembly or cry now will be to me I will just say it and then go my way. Nti me started say me kɔ asɔre no ebi wɔ hɔ a oh we wobɛyɛ powerful wobɛyɛ say and I realized say ebi wɔ hɔ a metumi imagine bibi then I see say it is like that. Metumi nya feelings be about obi then it is like that. But for some time now no me relationship bi ma that is per this page I'm joining here teachings mommy who say I say I take it so much from me. I just say my me know how to say it. That's my adamant and I say bibisa. I find it very difficult to process the training in very, very difficult. But then I follow all the time, I listen to it, and ABR for me to get strength and say, let me do this. Most and not at and I'll see it says, what I was doing at my younger age, my back so it could have the same thing. So yeah, one woman be who no catch and say she's a great witch who has reincarnated into but catch me say Akolana catch and say she shouldn't tell me who she is. I don't know how to deal with this Akolano. Missy, I am, these are the problems I have. It just dawned on me, so let me share it while Sister Abigail was teaching me. And another thing she said was that they may be a because I saw it in tea. And my baby, I say, especially be a who be yes, a whole bonfire. I may experience sometimes be a journey me in the name of myself. Why am I saying that? Then I stop. Be over double sorry no say hey Jesus dey I say you try to go back to sir when I wanted to ask say how do we go about this say there will be dia but bonfire na so be ka dey and dia will be there because those will be there bonfire na you can say be hunu yes mo jeni na be there so now how do we go about all of these things na no a problem or kind and I'm say okay let me find out if there is a solution to that issue. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's the part. Peggy. Ita, me ba jowo bibi kan na yenko yen. Okay, them say Ita a free so kakra. Na kakra me kan na other teachers number ni say Peggy. Say me free will last one na okano. Say we say be a empire. So be that we say maybe I'm the mihunu there be. Yahano, your words of affirmation. Na ni nyina bibia obebi wano a obeka no kasa ni nyina no e contain energy, e contain vibration, e contain frequencies. Ni nyina na man it me ye adwuma. Enti nye edin bia obebo na be man na ye adwuma. Bibia wo mu, wonna bibia wo mu. Ti bibia ye wo se ne osi projecting out of you and the man who se ne osi hu no. Enti no na me ka cho no say asem bia eda wakoma so na ewu ma opese eye homa no fa wano ka gu wankasa so na ebeye say because you create everything bibia wo na o create say na you secreting no eno na appear before you eno na me the beka na ne emesa ka che also about obana sem ni say that word which na nkasa no eye words a obi a create and now see your free baby which a bit me but said na teacher be no can no me higher source so but the bit me say or a high soul and waba a be our free higher planes ni bi mu and aba ya enye just a be a astral said the a be grow free you na first say etheric and I be a mental plane na what yes ya prekope into the knowledge no any niema unimu no ebe wosoro as an ordinary obi a anaze obi o ye right from maybe a astral why they wabaha waba physical and the sana mi de mi hunu ebi ana the teachers mi hunu different way beka sana say them hunu there's nothing called witch and a wizard and emire biara ya na omo a yɛde agidie sɛ ɔmo mu sɛ ɔmo nim fam ɛna ɔmo ne timi mistakes ɛna ɔmo ne timi hwɛ nneɛma ka no ɛyɛ ana ɔmo ankasa etimi ɛkeka biribi nti yɛyi taama ɛma mo yi bi kɔ ɛfa so ɛredi obi saa practice na ɔde ama no so ɔbɛsa de ama bi ma nsa anyakɔ wankasa fa wo ba no tena ase na use saa practice na yi ta so ɔde ba abɛma yɛn sɛ de si read obi na hwɛ nea ɛwɔ abɛhu. And remember, don't doubt what you're going to see, how you'll be feeling. The ever drop it, over download about Obano. Don't doubt it. Everything is inside of us. Yen ye bibia, yen ye creative bibia. Yaka mekanu na obi bibia to us. And that's it. Bam jaje for teacher for ya be ne kopa.
Yeah, Nana, Nyawaka no, no. Yam running, yeah, as they go on, no, they'll learn more, and yam running, yam picking the next person.
Okay, me that same say, Peggy Bacho, answer never pick you, you know. What's your say?
But your Matthias here.
Yeah, that's it. If you have a funny out of any be a one cassa bit me a funny, everything is inside of you. Men call be woman in Kabi be emfa programming. To Esana now walk out with the net of subconscious no as na ye can. Say what did the independent can no na ye juma. Simbacho seeker of truth. Me ma wakasa.
Before my mom, good evening.
Good evening,
Bacho, your friend Wood, men I'm joining last week. Na me share my experience kakrabino. Na regarding blue circle na practices no. Me start say me no. Me experience kakrabi, and I'm better me share. I said me share without blinking the eye na. A drew baby and I say second no hono no ho round no ɛyɛ bibi te sɛ white bi saa na ɛyɛ me mentumi nhu sɛ saa na ɛsɛ sɛ ɛba na ɛna ne ɛtɔ so mmienu so ɛyɛ a meyɛ night adwuma nti ebi wɔ hɔ a anwummere no na menni fie nti anɔpa no mekɔ fie sei a na makɔ akɔyɛ me practice nti anwummere no ɛyɛ a mefele sɛ ebi wɔ hɔ a memfa paper no ɛfa mbrɛ adwuma mu na memfa mbɛbɔ hɔ na ɛduru anwummere no a bɛtumi ayɛ ɛno so ɛsɛ mebisa sɛ mɛtumi ayɛ no saa.
Mini already I mean trying to short only last a year bana it had the practice na ba na just say you could become another class I was say you could the thing say you know blue circle no the ohunu no the aura.
Okay.
Circle no aura and the ohunu na baby obey no die na wan kasa so baby obi an distracted while between time e dey aye no. So what you now the because the go ceiling so that baby the baby be a bow ama wo mi aye no.
Okay.
This second ni na say e build your concentration level.
Okay.
My it me the any see ade back so. That's the main purpose. So be nya fan will be say e be another a better reporter e be send you into another plane another dimension. And be a be nya no be no. E extra. The main purpose is say again, everyone me to concentrate. If baby I am no so dear, wow, that room my baby, wow,
okay.
Beyond this battle, now I know.
Mbacho. And mesre we dey membisa me last question we nka ho ehia me pa.
Teacher Abigail. Line as I drop your moon
I say you. Mebajo it has out and can let's obey the practice now by quick and sunny aqua because I line in that year.
I'm say any if a casana or recorded to pay no so I be born because any uncomfort dropping in and out now. I'm here. Uncomfort we brebe sa mesi bio.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, money get this because always I'm messy. Any ever got assignment for no na afi. But they are so now obi akoti na we go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the Sisiano. Madam, my teacher for some movie bia mo beka in the line yeah you say dia kwani abasa antino. Some movie bia mo beka chatwa na afi no ye ende anyway no na intimi call other class no.
Yeah, we see for kakra menya me de be ka ho amam ne say practice. Practice is not you know. The meaning of it is for you to get your experience, to gain your own experience. Experience is also yet based on one particular experience. Maybe experience no will be different from your teacher Nana Dumako. Nana Dumako's experience which me different from the teacher Abigail. You know, practice and come and share your experience. If your experience is so when you're maybe a BB or why to say your penny eater a wow. It's no practice and now but now share your practices so that we can perfect each and every one of us. We are moving on into the lessons that we're learning. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's the fama. Teacher B. What's the matter to?
And I'm passion more no go mama why.
Near Pam Jobs for the moon masi. China your best ya. China best ya read them so what the Antimian Fawa. A break up time you know go in and out to the Jama. I had drink a crash so
and I think seek about seeking truth. Okay, I thought it was a seeker.
Yeah. The yeah, the movie see ana ya to aso china. And as any kind so be ma ita. And never kasa na what the assignment na we na ato so. Amamo. Questions and answers session. The other one sepa e be share china.